Sooner fans, you really need to go check out our podcast partners. First off, teambarfinder.com. Download their app on the Apple Store or on Google Play. Find out where you can watch your Sooners locally at your local pub. Also, go check out tailgateconnect.com for the best tailgates across the country. And go learn football from Jason Young, JY, and the Trench Warfare Report. www.trenchwarfarereport.com. Let's get this going. Hey, Sooner football fans. This is your Sooner Football Fans podcast. You got Terry and Rob here. Boomer Rob.
Boomer Terry.
And we are coming at you from the still corona-free Podcast Palace in beautiful Norman, Oklahoma.
Where we are not affiliated with the University of Oklahoma.
But we do have eligibility left. And Rob and I are fresh off of our social distancing experiment. Where did we go play golf at, Rob?
Cobblestone
Creek here in Norman. We played 9 holes of par 3 golf.
Yep.
And played it like they were par 5s.
Walked all 9.
Walked all 9. One thing it did tell us, didn't it, Rob?
That we're out of shape?
We're out of shape. Yeah, we're
definitely.
Yeah, we come up on from the 8th green to the 9th tee box was maybe the longest walk I've ever made in my life.
Uphill both ways.
Both. It's like, where is the tee box? And there was no shortcut either. There was a neighborhood there, so
yeah, definitely would have used a cart right there.
No, but there was a lot of people out on the course. We had a
lot of people,
5-some out in front of us. You weren't supposed to touch the flags. They asked that you not touch the flags, and the guys in front of us kept touching the flag, and so trying to adjust some noises here, so if you're getting some little blank spots. But we do have some news for everybody. We got a good podcast coming up because we're going to have SoonerLeesa on here in a little bit and discuss whatever she wants to talk about. We're going to talk about the Sooner names. She wants to help us get through those a little bit.
Oh, she does? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And talk about some sports that we don't watch. We probably ought to do one of those real quick because people ask, hey, y'all kind of stop doing that. No, we're old. We keep forgetting to do it. So, and then what else we're going to talk about? Oh, on our next podcast after this one, we're going to have the Chris Plank on with us.
C. Plank.
And we're going to talk a lot of sports, but I think we're also going to get him to walk us through a game day on
I bet it's
the sports
crazy.
radio. So I think that'd be a good little discussion for us Sooner fans to hear what Chris and those guys do behind the scene. So we're looking forward to that. Also, next week we are getting with the Frothy Friday guys from Australia.
It's going to be so much fun.
They're going to come on our podcast, and we're going to talk about Australian rules football.
Seriously, if you haven't heard them yet, you got to go listen to at least one of their podcasts because they're hilarious.
Yes, and they are on YouTube and Facebook. It's called the Frothy Fridays, and if you watch it, you'll understand why a frothy is a beer. But they talk about all types of sports, auto racing, horse racing, baseball. And I talked to them last night, and we're kind of kindred spirits from across the way. They hate soccer. So but as you guys know, I've said it before, I used to watch Australian rules football on ESPN 10 or 15 years ago. It used to come on like Friday and Saturday nights at 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night. So it was interesting to watch. I don't want to, it's kind of like rugby, but not.
I think it's called the Friday Frothy.
The Friday Frothy.
Yeah.
The Frothy Friday, the Friday Frothy. My bad.
That's okay.
Sorry. But go find them on YouTube. Hilarious couple of fellows, and they're going to be on our podcast, and then we're going to video record with them because theirs is a video on there.
Podcast.
Yep.
So then we're going to do a video segment with them talking about Oklahoma Sooner football.
Nice.
And also the popularity of the difference in the popularity in college football and pro football in the United States. Because I have a buddy that met them. That's how we came in contact with them. And, they were surprised to find out. We kind of talked about it that, college football is more popular in the United States than pro football.
It definitely is here. I don't know if that's true across the whole U.S.
Probably not in like Wisconsin and, New York and stuff like that. But I think for the most part, college football, the pageantry of it it's so much bigger for everybody. So, but we're looking for, and we're working on a couple other people, just working on times. And then we're going to start getting the fans on, which Lisa is, of course, one of the biggest Sooner football fans out there. She also has a blog, She Said Sports, which is always hilarious.
Always funny.
I'm
a little behind. I need to catch up.
Yeah.
So.
But I'm expecting, I think she put one out the other day, but, I'm sure she's going to put something out about, being without sports more and more and more. But we're going to try to, moving forward, refrain from coronavirus, COVID-19 talk and just
I'm so sick of it. I can't even tell you.
Concentrate on entertainment. Since there's not a lot of sports to talk about, there's not a lot with recruiting going on. There is, but we don't know how all this stuff is going to affect recruiting moving forward. So I'm not sure that if it's something that we really need to delve into right at this point in time.
Talking about it right now, so
yeah. But I guess the draft is coming up. When is the draft? I've lost all track of sports.
Yeah, honestly, good day.
And here's the thing. You have your favorites on your TV.
Mm-hmm.
ESPN and the NFL Network disappeared today from my favorites when I pulled it up.
All right.
Because it's based off of what channels you watch.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I pulled my favorites up, and it was off the little list of 5 or 6.
See, even when I had TV, I didn't watch ESPN.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm tired of watching SEC stuff. So.
Well, I didn't, watch a lot of, some shows I'd watch, but, I wasn't like dying to, to see what was going on. So, anyway, if you guys, we dropped some videos and some pictures out on Twitter of us playing at golf.
And one of them, Terry, was coming out of the trees just saying.
Like you didn't get into the trees a couple of times.
Never, not once.
And like I said, I'm out of shape. I'm a little bit sore. And that's just from walking. How far is 9 holes? Is that half a mile? All I know is my hamstrings hurt. I didn't properly stretch today.
I wouldn't have a clue, really.
But the thing is, though, also I'm proud of, because we had to hit the ball over water a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Came back. I didn't lose a ball, and I came back with the same ball I started with.
Well, there you go.
Well, no, I did lose a ball on the first one. I had sunglasses on, which I have bad vision, bad night vision too. First one, sounded good, felt good. I couldn't see it when I looked up to find the ball. I had sunglasses on, so I had to take the sunglasses off, and Rob wasn't watching it, so we have no idea. Did we check the hole? No.
I'm not sure you got close to it, Terry. So
yeah. I know it didn't drop on the green, but it felt right. So, but it was a good day.
Good day.
We were discussing the fellow at the pro shop that checked us in.
Yep.
Wasn't your typical
had the
pro shop guy
peacock feather in his leather hat.
Yeah, leather cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, or was it a jungle type hat?
I know, it was a little odd looking, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and a Grateful Dead leather coat on.
Yep.
Just not, like we were saying when we were pulling out, you either got a young up and coming golfer that runs, a golf course like that, or you got the old guy that ain't got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
he was friendly enough, but he didn't seem like he really wanted to be there. They were out of carts, and when we told him we're going to walk, he went, "Thank you," because apparently everybody was used up all their carts. So
well, it's a real hilly course, especially in the back, so we were up and down a bunch.
But no, it was a good day. First time I picked up a golf club in over a year, and and they had that course also has the soccer golf. Is that what that's called?
I don't know, but kickball golf or something like
golf.
That.
Yeah. There's
kind of cool.
There's big giant holes out there to kick balls into. So, but what are you chuckling? I said big holes in your.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are they not big holes for the soccer balls to fit into? But anyway, you just want to jump on the phone with Miss SoonerLeesa, Rob, and see, because we're going to be laughing for a little while.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on the phone with us all the way from beautiful Tulsa, Oklahoma, the home of Joe Exotic, Tiger King, we have SoonerLeesa on with us. Boomer SoonerLeesa.
Boomer Sooner.
So
I don't claim that as being. I don't claim that.
So that's the first thing. Rob is afraid to watch any more of it.
I have not started it.
You haven't. How do you have? Oh gosh. I thought you would have jonesed all the way through it and started it halfway through it again.
No, why would you think that?
I don't know.
That's my first question. Why would you think that?
Well, I know you well enough. You have the personality to go, what the double is going on? And then you have to watch it again to make sure that you just saw what you think you saw.
I think all the memes have given me all I need to see.
Pretty much. Yep, it's one of those shows where I'm just uncomfortable like the whole time, and so Terry's egging me to try and watch it though. So I made it through half of episode 3, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm done." So
yeah, I may be the only person in America soon that hasn't watched it. So, but that's okay because I'm the only person in the world that's never seen Star Wars. So.
Rob just gasped. Did you hear
that?
I knew that already.
He knew that.
I knew that already.
Why haven't you haven't seen any of the Star Wars?
None.
How come?
I've never seen E.T. I've never seen Indiana Jones.
Wow. Okay, now I'm concerned.
Let's just act like she doesn't have a TV, okay?
Yeah. Are you Amish?
You want us to come over and help you raise a barn?
and by barn we mean what, Rob?
Barn.
You laugh at that, but if I brought you some homemade cookies, you'd be all about it.
You ain't a kidding. Yep.
Well, why haven't you brought us homemade cookies?
Yeah,
that's the question.
Because I have to stay 6 feet away.
Well, no. It's not like for 2 years you're not in the same town that we're in. Oh, at least 6 times, and you couldn't just swing by a homemade cookie. Mm-hmm.
I have no answer. Except I do not bring homemade baked goods to the football games.
Well, bring them to the tailgate before the football game.
I've been known to be maybe baked a time or two at a football game.
So, what have you been? We know, and everybody that knows you on Twitter and Facebook knows that you're a huge sports fan. Steelers, a woman after my own heart. Steelers, Cardinals, Sooners. What have you been doing?
Well, they had bowling on the other day.
How can they bowl?
It was old.
Okay.
It was old, but it was on.
That is some desperation right there.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah, I'm really worried. Well, I've been upset because opening day for baseball season was supposed to happen the other day.
Yeah.
So it's kind of been a real bummer. More than It has been the past couple of weeks, but I don't know. It's a struggle. The struggle really is real.
The struggle is real.
Yes. Are you
For baseball fans? Yeah.
Are you a go back and watch old games person?
Oh yeah, I did the other day.
See, I can't do that.
Did you say old games?
Yeah, I watched, the 85 national
Yeah.
championship game.
Well, I watched 2017 Texas Tech and OU, which was really fun. It was Mayfield versus Mahomes, and
Ugh, I hated that game.
they scored a billion points.
They're still scoring points in that game today.
Yeah.
I was on the edge of my seat wondering who was going to win.
Yeah.
Hey, we played golf today, and I started to get behind Terry with my camera and start recording and just be like, okay, folks, he's got 70 yards, and it looks like he's got a wedge in his hand. And,
Yeah, we were going to try that, but
people would have watched.
yeah, well, they would have.
So were you guys the only ones on the golf course?
No.
Good gosh, no.
Really?
Yeah, there was a bunch of people on it. They ran out of carts. Me and Robert, we found out two things, that we're unhealthy and we're trying to get healthy. So we walked 9 holes, and we found out that we were terribly out of shape.
For sure.
Well, that's probably a good thing, because unless they've hired somebody to douche the carts and Clorox after somebody else has ridden, and I might be afraid to even grab the steering wheel.
Did you say douche the cart?
I really did. I'm sorry. You can edit that out.
Oh no, we don't edit on.
Yeah, if you mess up, you mess up. You're stuck with it.
But
it's just an expressive adjective or verb, I guess. Either way.
Yeah, but when
Gives one quite a mental image.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I didn't hear that, but
Rob said it gives one quite a mental image.
settle down, Rob.
Yeah, but when we told the guy we were walking, you'd have thought we told him we were giving him $1,000. He was like, "Oh, thank you. We're out of carts." And I'm like,
here's the thing. I live on a golf course, and that's the golf course that we were going to try and play, but they were booked. I couldn't get a tee time, so we had to go play at a different place.
And when we were leaving his apartment, it didn't look like there was anybody on the golf course.
I know.
Did you piss off the?
It's possible.
It's possible.
I have that effect on women. So,
but no, but we were pretty proud of ourselves. I haven't played in like over a year.
I have a question that the world wants to know.
Okay.
And they're probably afraid to ask.
Shoot.
Has Rob baked, broiled, or charcoaled his neighbor yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. It hasn't reached that point. Walmart's still delivering, so as long as Walmart can deliver groceries, Rob's okay.
I'm good to go.
Okay.
Yep.
But if
I did see her this morning, though. Said hello. By the way, I'm going to eat you if we run out of food. No, I didn't say that.
But yeah, I did watch. It's funny. I watched a movie the other day on Netflix. I talked about it on the last podcast. What do they call it? The Bad Bunch, or something like that. And it had.
What is it?
It's called the Bad Bunch.
The
Bad Batch.
Bad
Batch. Okay. Oh. I'd never heard. It's on Netflix. I'd never heard of it. But when you're reading, who's in it, it has Jason Momoa, Keanu Reeves, and who's the comedian, Rob, that I said? Ace Ventura. Just went blank. Duh.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Woo!
Good job, Rob. Thanks.
Thanks.
So I've never heard of this movie.
I have not either.
And I thought it's got some big actors in it, so I watched it. Within the first 5 minutes of it, the main character, which is a young girl, gets kidnapped by a group of cannibalistic people, and they chop off her right arm and half of her right leg and throw it on the grill. I thought, there's Rob. That's where Rob would be.
Listen, we run out of food.
Question.
Nobody's safe.
That brings up a question.
Okay.
Is Jason Momoa one of the cannibals?
Yes, he is the cannibal. There's Jason Momoa was like the head cannibal, okay? And all the cannibals were like muscled up guys and creepy looking women, okay?
It kind of sounds like a girl in isolation dream.
Yeah. But
I'm just saying.
Jim Carrey never speaks in it, but he's kind of like the guy that wanders the desert, and people come to him for information, and he points stuff. And then Keanu
He never speaks?
Yeah, never speaks.
He's just rolling the world.
Yeah. And then Keanu Reeves plays like a Jim Baker, Kool-Aid Jim Baker, that's leading this group of people out in the desert. It's an apocalyptic type movie. So, great things to watch during this period of time. But it wasn't a bad movie. I enjoyed it, but it was like, the first 5 minutes is, they're chopping off this girl's arm and leg and tossing it on the grill. So, but
Wow.
So are you a Jason Momoa fan?
Actually, I've never seen him in anything. I know, go figure.
You've never seen Jason Momoa in anything? You haven't? Okay, wait a second. You have not.
Only in commercials.
You haven't seen Aquaman.
No, somebody on Facebook the other day, when I said, make me choose between two things,
Yeah.
somebody actually said, oh my gosh, what is it, DC or Marvel? Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen one of them. I don't even know the difference. So.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, and by the way, I do want to apologize to you because when you said that I made you sound, what'd you say, like a bitch? Is that what you said? And I thought, I was playing around, and when I went and listened to the podcast, it came across wrong. Lisa is not a bitch. It did sound like it. I mean, the way I said it, and I apologize. Okay, Lisa is not a bitch, but she does, and we don't mind it. But you're one of those people that will tell us when we're wrong.
Well, but you should be glad I'm listening to the podcast.
I know I am. We don't mind people. Well, what we tell everybody, we're never wrong. We're not always right, but we're never wrong. So that's our motto.
It was one of those podcasts where I'm like literally yelling at the answer. Like you guys were sitting in front of me. You should have seen it real bad. I was like, Mac Davis.
Yeah, Mac Davis on what was the movie? North Dallas 40.
Mac Davis.
Yeah,
That's the one. Yep.
For some reason, I was thinking the Gatlin brothers because they kind of Mac Davis and the oldest or the main Gatlin brother, they kind of look alike, don't they?
I don't know.
So
Mac Davis.
But
and Nick Nolte, right?
I was screaming I was listening to it on my phone, and I'm screaming at my phone, and then I had to stop. I was like, Lisa, I can't hear you.
You need to be texting me because it's bothering me. Like that stuff bothers me. Like,
I can't even text in the answer because it's not live.
Yeah, it's not live. We're not live, Rob. Come on.
Yeah, I know, but 2 days later, I'm still like, who was that guy? Oh my gosh!
So when you hear us get stumped, you can go, even though it's 3 days later after we record, text Rob so he'll know the answer so he can sleep at night.
I'm still it's still bothering me.
But so here let's do sports that Lisa doesn't watch. We'll tell you the ones that we've gone through, and we need to add another one to it, Rob. We haven't done this in a while.
Right.
Okay. Here's what we don't watch so far, Lisa. Is soccer. That was number one.
Well, listen, some of those soccer players are so beautiful that I watch it. Especially Team Spain, Shakira's husband, Helen.
Okay, ice hockey. We don't watch ice hockey, which is basically
really. I love ice hockey. I love hockey.
It's soccer on ice.
No, it's not.
It has nets on the. Okay, let us get through our list. Stop interrupting me, please.
Right,
God, fencing. Although we have a way that we would watch fencing. Have you ever watched fencing?
I've watched it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. But,
yeah. I mean, if they gave them like the big, what are they called? Broadswords, and they just ran it like Viking sword fighting. We would watch Viking sword fighting.
Yeah, I'd watch that. And if there were blood involved.
Yeah. Right? But fencing. So that's how far we've got. And right now, and we didn't know this, right now we're doing college sports. But is there a sport out there other than the three that we're talking about that you won't watch? Doesn't matter. If it came on today and you're jonesing from sports, you still wouldn't watch it.
That I wouldn't watch?
Right. A sport that SoonerLeesa does not watch.
Yeah, I was lying about the bowling. Well, that's not true, because one time they had a bowling tournament at a bar I was in, and I sat at the bar and just stared at it and watched it, so I guess that doesn't count. But I mean, I wouldn't just turn to it. I don't think I would watch fencing.
You wouldn't watch fencing? What about golf? Do you watch golf?
I'm obsessed with watching golf.
Really? See, you should have came to Norman today, and you could have stood and watched me and Rob play.
I told Terry that we needed cheerleaders out there. I feel like we need cheerleaders in golf. I just think it would make things better.
What's so funny about that is years ago, if I wanted to fall asleep, I would turn on golf on Sunday afternoons until I tried it.
Until you tried.
Then when I tried it, I can't take my eyes off of golf. It's just because it amazes me what those guys can do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty obsessed with golf.
So you would have been in awe of me and Rob today.
I bet I would have.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. At one point, I called myself Tiger Mickelson. Okay. All right.
I didn't hear him.
Say it again, Rob.
Can you not hear me? Because I can get louder. I said at one point today I called myself Tiger Mickelson.
Well,
okay, here, let's...
Exotic Rob.
Exotic Rob.
Not that Tiger. Not that Tiger.
Rob Exotic.
There you go.
Oh, boy.
There's our next shirt.
Oh, boy. I'm uncomfortable with this.
Yeah. So here, let's just throw out some sports here to you. These are current summer sports, okay? Since we're not going to get to watch them on the Olympics, which I didn't know this was a thing. Marathon swimming.
Marathon?
Yeah, marathon swimming.
I'm assuming they do that in like an ocean or big lake or something.
Big ocean or big lake. I don't know. I never knew that they had marathon swimming.
Well, that's got to be about as exciting as watching paint dry.
Exactly. Synchronized swimming.
Synchronized swimming. That's where they do the dances, right?
Probably. Sounds like something they would do.
Yeah, they do that in the Olympics. There's either two of them or there's a whole team, and they have like dance moves, and they go underwater and do them, and they have to all be together. It's not that I've ever watched it, but it
sounds like you have. Kind of sounds like she's an expert on it, doesn't it, Rob?
Yeah, no, I'm all about the Olympics. I just didn't know about the marathon swimming, though.
Yeah, that one shocked me. Trampoline.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah, it depends on what her name is on the trampoline is whether or not I'll watch it. Did I just make SoonerLeesa speechless? Is that something that's happened before?
I guess I didn't hear it.
I said it depends on what her name is on the trampoline is depending on what I watch it.
I don't know. I don't know what you're into, Terry.
So I'm not just going to watch a dude on a trampoline, I promise you.
Probably not going to do that. Probably not going to do that.
No dudes on the trampoline. Here's one, Rob. Handball.
Why did you laugh when you said that, Terry?
Handball.
You just made me uncomfortable. Handball. I probably would not watch handball.
I don't know what handball is. Do you know what handball is?
I do know what handball is.
Okay, remember, PG-13.
Well, I think I know what handball is. I could be somebody could be yelling at me right now. I think it's almost like racquetball, but there's no paddle.
So they just use their hand to hit the ball?
I could be wrong.
No paddling.
I could be wrong.
Hold up.
You said no paddling?
I never use paddles when I handle balls. I don't know. Oh, my God. Edit that.
No. Nope. There is no editing.
All right.
Oh, my God. Shut up.
Let's see. What's another one, Rob? Badminton? You ever watched
badminton. I don't think I would. I have before in the Olympics, but I don't think I would if I had, that bores me.
So that was a freshman class for me in college.
You took badminton?
I did. I'm not going to lie.
Were you good at it?
No, not really. No, because, I mean, I didn't really care. So every time I came over the net, I was trying to hit it out of the gym. They're like, no, you don't do it that way. I'm like, well, it's more fun to me to do it this way. So anyway.
So have you ever played badminton, Lisa?
I have.
Are you good at it?
No.
Okay.
No. That was when I was a kid, your parents would put that net up in the backyard, hand you a racket, and those little, what are they called, birdies? Is that what they're called?
I think so.
And then my brother would end up hitting me over the head with the racket, and it just got ugly.
And that was, putting the net up, huh?
Well, it's not really called a birdie, though, isn't it? It's called a pitcock or something like that.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's called a pitcock.
Yeah, I was going to let her get away with birdie. But
I think people changed it to birdie so that their kids wouldn't be saying
it's like pitcock.
Yeah. I think that's true, but I don't know.
I know it's something cock or pitcock, but yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Rob was about to explode saying that too. He was sitting over here while you were talking.
Listen, I wouldn't watch badminton, but I would watch. I'm not going to be front row center or anything. But those people that I'm going to say Asians, but you know what I'm talking about. The ping pongers,
table tennis.
Ping
pongers.
The one in Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Those people are amazing.
Right?
Yep. No, I agree.
Oh my God.
I'm like, how in the world did you do that?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I've watched some table tennis before.
Been known to do a little ping ponging myself.
Have you now?
But I'm not quite as good as Forrest Gump.
Are you a good ping ponger, Lisa?
You know what? I haven't played in so long. I don't know, but what I'm really good at? That should be an Olympic sport. Air hockey.
Oh, really?
I'm the air hockey queen.
Now, there you go. See? Something that we did not know. How did you become so good at air hockey?
By playing it.
Okay.
She was born with it, Terry.
She was born with it. There wasn't alcohol involved at the bowling alley one night or anything like that?
It wasn't the bowling alley. It was a skating rink.
Okay.
And I love playing air hockey. And I used to work for the Tulsa Oilers, which is a hockey team, and the Tulsa Talons. It's the same owner used to own both the football and the hockey team.
Mm-hmm.
And so I used to just play air hockey constantly with those guys. And I just started kicking their butts.
And so then nobody...
And I declared myself the air hockey queen.
Ah. Did you ever have your hand on the air hockey side and get it pinged?
I have been pinged in the knuckle by one of those.
Yeah. With a puck.
And it hurts.
Yeah. I've had that happen before.
Yeah, you can't just rub some dirt on that either because there's no dirt.
There's no dirt.
Mm-mm.
What about, this is a winter game, but I do enjoy it, watching it. If it's ever on, I stop and I've curling.
I love watching curling now. That used to be such a geeky thing, but now, what was it? It was the last Winter Olympics, wasn't it? That everybody started really watching it, and now I like to do it with the Swiffer and the little robotic vacuum.
Now, I think it's on Netflix. There's a thing about curling, because it's like Canada's one of their national sports. Mm-hmm. And there's a really good documentary on it, and it talks about how the sport changed and how this one guy that won the world championship one time practically ruined the sport because nobody could beat him. And it wasn't illegal what he was doing, but it was something that nobody had ever done. And so, which was playing aggressive and knocking, I don't know what are they called? The bricks or whatever.
Is it called a brick?
What is the curling thing they push? Is it called a curling iron?
Surely not.
Brick. It's a brick.
Is that what they call it?
All
A
right.
I
brick?
think you're right.
Yeah.
There you
But
go.
he was just being aggressive, and that's not how the game's supposed to be played. It was a gentleman, it was a.
Hey, was that called The Losers?
I think it was.
Yeah.
It was in that Netflix series with all the, Yeah, did you see it? You know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they talk about it.
I think he was back in the 80s, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly, on that doc. What was his name? I think his last name was like Ryan or something like that. I can't think of his name. He was from Kelowna, though, British Columbia. I remember that.
Yeah.
So
But
that's a good one. It's a very interesting to watch.
Yeah. I mean, and up there, and even in the United States, really, I mean, it's it's sitting around, drinking beer and standing on ice. How can that not be fun?
Right?
That
That just sounds like all kinds of
I
fun.
got to actually try it one time at the Oilers Ice Center. They actually have a league here in Tulsa. Believe it or not, a curling league. And so I got to try it. It's really not that easy.
So, were you the one with the broom, or?
No, I was the one with the broom, because if I tried to push that brick across the ice.
Why would you assume she's the one with the broom, Terry?
Why would you go
Oh,
there,
my
Rob?
I didn't hear that either. Rob, speak up.
Say it again, Rob.
Well, I'm just wondering why he automatically assumed you were the one with the broom.
Yeah.
Shut up, Rob.
Huh.
Oh, but no, there's a lot of interesting sports out there. But are you a soccer fan or not? Okay, not just to watch the Spain
So
guys run around.
Listen, I grew up my dad was a baseball player, and then he coached. And I grew up in the era where all of a sudden all the soccer fields started popping up everywhere. And some of them started taking over baseball fields. So my dad thought soccer was
The Antichrist.
Satan coming back to claim us all. So I never really watched a whole lot of it. I have the past 5 or 6 years only. I'm not going to say for betting purposes, but it may be, But then I really got to paying attention in the World Cup to. I'm watching soccer, going, holy crap, these guys are hot.
And see,
So I started watching it more, but I'm not. It's real hard for me to really get into.
yeah, and see, and that's not fair, because the women that play women's soccer, I don't think they're hot. Do you, Rob?
Girls that play women's soccer?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some of them are.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them, I'm sure some of them are.
I haven't seen one. So.
You don't watch it to try it, so how do you know?
Well, true. I mean, like Rob said earlier, though, that's, to me, soccer is like watching paint dry. It's just, it's just drawn out.
If I was going to watch soccer, I would watch girls soccer.
Yeah.
The same.
So, Lisa, what's been going on with She Said Sports? How come we're not getting more stuff out, especially now, being a frustrated sports fan?
There's no sports.
So you're not ever sitting around with a glass of wine and get halfway through the bottle and go, I got something to say. And
the problem is, because of this quarantine, it doesn't stop at a glass of wine. And it's like a bottle of wine.
Oh.
And nobody wants to read that.
We do.
I don't know.
Come on.
I'll just text you drunk tweets.
Oh, great. Okay, you want to help us out with the great Sooner names?
Of course.
Okay. Now, the rule is that we're going to go through these names, and we're trying to narrow it down to have a deal on Twitter and stuff, but It doesn't matter what they did for the university or when they played or how they played or anything else. It is strictly off their name. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
So, like, if I know one and I think he's a complete jerk, I can't go off that.
You can. We don't know that. So, you ready for the first one? Well, we're going to start off with players with nicknames. Okay?
Okay.
Just not a name. They had a nickname. Okay? And we got 16 to go through here.
Okay.
Buford Boots Bagby. Played for the Oklahoma Sooners from 1964 to 66. Does Buford Boots Bagby make it through?
Buford Boots? Yeah.
Okay. Manly Poppy Bailey. Played in 1912. Manly Poppy Bailey.
And
Manly?
would you ever name one of your children Manly?
Or Poppy. You're slow to respond, so we're gonna give him a red mark, I think.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. Brian the Boz Bosworth.
Yes.
Okay.
That should just be, have you ever watched America's Got Talent where they get the golden ticket?
Oh, you want to give the Boz
my golden ticket buzzer right there. He moves all the way through.
Next one is J. Obi Bristow. Played for the Sooners from 1922 to 24.
No.
Nope. Okay. Oh, and also I got to give a shout out to SoonerStats.com. They're the ones that help us put these because there's thousands of names, and they're the ones that helped us put this through. So go check out SoonerStats.com. There's everything on that thing: baseball, football, basketball, and softball stuff. Okay. Next one, Bubba Burcham, 1997 to 2000.
Listen, we're in Oklahoma. If they're named Bubba, they move along.
Okay. Jimbo Elrod.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I'm letting things hit me too personal now.
Yeah. Next one is Leon Mule Train Heath. Was a fullback from 1948 to 50.
Is it bad that I want to move everybody through?
Now, Mule Train, we got to move. Anybody has a nickname Mule Train.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got to be in.
Yeah.
He's got potential Final Four written all over him.
Yeah. Frank Pop Ivy, 1937 to 39.
Pop?
Pop Ivy. Let's say no on Pop.
I'm like, no.
Here's one of my favorite. Dewey Snorter Luster.
Well, of course.
1917 to 1920. Snorter Luster.
So how many names have you got left?
We're at like 70.
Together, Dewey Snorter Luster. You don't need a nickname.
Yeah,
Dewey Luster. You don't need a nickname.
So you need to get down to 64, and then we'll just bracket
we'll
it.
Just
put them in a bracket.
Dewey Snorter Luster. Oh, I already did that one. Wahoo McDaniel.
Of course.
1957 to 59.
And that's also a way to obtain alcoholic beverages when you're underage.
Have you ever wahooed beer, Lisa?
Wahoo! No.
Oh, if you went wahoo, then you know what we're talking about.
No, she
Completely
doesn't.
innocent. Let's move on.
You don't want to know what wahooing beer is?
Actually, I think she has.
Yeah. You have, haven't you? Anyway. Paul.
By the way, we're going to take that as a yes.
Yes. Paul Booger Parker, offensive guard from 1979 to 83.
Listen, I can't even stand to say Booger McFarland's name.
Okay.
I just can't.
He's out.
He's out. George Buster Rhymes.
Really?
Buster Rhymes, yeah.
That's awesome.
You didn't know that's where Buster Rhymes got his name?
No.
Yes. Oh, the Oklahoma running back, Buster Rhymes. He played for Miami, and even Buster Rhymes, the rapper, said he heard that name when he was a kid and said, that's going to be my name when I become famous.
Oh my God! Well, why are we even questioning him moving along?
Yeah, exactly.
Except the difference was Buster and Busta, right?
Yeah. Buster with a ER and a Busta with a A.
Not to be confused with that. Never mind.
Yeah. Ronnie Warhorse Stacy, offensive guard from 68 to 71. Warhorse Stacy.
I kind of like it.
So the question is that a nick or is that his real name? Because either way, I think he goes through.
He goes through. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Warhorse. I don't want to tell somebody they call Warhorse no.
Here's one that we didn't know how to nickname. William, I'll just go William Curly Vessels, a.k.a. Billy Vessels. Billy Vessels was nicknamed Curly Vessels.
Is that really his nickname?
Yes. I mean, I'm not making this stuff up.
I've never heard him called that.
I hadn't either.
I hadn't either.
Curly Vessels.
I'm going to say no.
You're going to say no? Okay.
Because I don't think they really
called him that very much. Okay, the next one. Rob, Steve,
Dr. Death,
William.
Yes.
So Dr. Death moves through. Well, we out of that the nickname part, we knocked some out.
What about Joe Silvershoes Washington?
Well, we didn't have that one in there, but oh well. Anyway, moving on. These are people that just their names are cool. Okay, so they didn't have to have a nickname. Okay.
Although I think we should reconsider Joe Silvershoes.
Rufus Alexander.
Yes.
Okay. Of course, he was a linebacker from 2002 to 2006.
Yeah.
Plato Andros, 1941 to 46. Plato Andros.
Plato?
Yep, Plato. Plato. Plato.
Plato. Yeah, I'm all about philosophers.
Okay. Roy Backus. No on the Backus.
Yeah.
Okay. This one's hard to say. Carl Baldeschweiler. Offensive lineman to 74 to 77. Carl Baldeschweiler.
No.
No? You don't like Baldeschweiler?
Well, I don't know. It just doesn't strike me.
Aubrey Beavers, 1990 to 94.
I'm hard, aren't I? I'm being really rough. But I'm like,
You were easy on the nickname guys and being harder on guys with regular names.
Yeah.
Awfully hard on the Beavers there. What? Aubrey Beavers.
Okay. Nick Bonito. Okay, you got to give Nick through. That's like when you say Nick Bonito, do you not think of the Sopranos?
I don't know. I never watched it.
Oh my God. Nick's going through, okay? Duell Brewer, running back, 89 to 92. Duell Brewer.
No.
Nope. Man, Lisa's knocking them dead.
I like it.
Sorry.
Trajan Bridges.
Yes, I love that name.
Okay. Ricky Bryan, defensive tackle from 80 to 83.
Oh, well, that's so. Why? It's so plain.
Right?
Ricky Bryan was a badass, though. Just saying. Okay, I know
Sounds like he could get up on a stage with a guitar and sing about his truck.
You're saying that's a bad thing?
No.
I am. So I know you're going to let this one through. Oscar Butts from 1965 to 67. Oscar Butts.
Of course.
I would have said no personally, but
Grant Calcaterra.
I always loved just saying his name, so I have to say yes.
Okay. Rocky Calmus.
Yes.
Okay. And Caleb helped us when we were doing this earlier. There was only one Rocky allowed through because there were several Rockies. And so,
was there?
Yeah, he made the rule. There's only one Rocky. And
Not the Yo Adrian one, right?
Lydell Carr, fullback from 84 to 87.
Also happens to be one of my favorite running backs of all time at the University of Oklahoma. Just saying.
Well, that doesn't make it. So
Listen, I need you to have some compassion here for
Burl Clark from 1930.
Clark?
Burl, Beryl.
Oh, Burl.
Okay. She'll probably say yes to this one. Gene Cockrell.
I don't like how you started that out. I don't like how you assumed it.
What? You don't like Gene? I figured you liked the name Gene.
How you started out. I'll probably say yes to this one.
Well, because I figured you liked Gene.
I know I'm just on the phone, but I can really see your nose growing.
So does Cockrell get through?
I don't know. Is he single?
awkward.
Sure.
It didn't even cost you dinner.
Just so I can say I let Cockrell through.
All right. The next one, Tink Collins from 88 to 92. Tink Collins. That's a no? Poor old Tink.
I mean, outside of Tinker Bell, how many Tinks do you know?
Well, so is Tinker Owens on the list?
He might be. We're in the C's right now, so.
Because that's the only... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm stepping ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. John Connor.
No.
Why? Do you know who John Connor is?
Is it from the movie?
She's not watched it.
Terminator?
No, I'm not.
We're just gonna have to bring her up here and just sit her in front of a movie and
Apparently
just let
movies
her
are not her thing, right?
Let's see. Earl Coots. Coots.
Anybody who goes through life with that name has got to move through.
But I'll tell you what, Terry, you can send her a lyric or just part of a lyric, and she'll respond with the other half of it.
Oh, I'm sure. I've seen it. She's been dropping the lyrics out on social media.
Yep.
I got in trouble for one. Apparently on Twitter, somebody thought I was offering for the Twitter world to pour sugar on me.
Really? And you're surprised that happened?
I'm like, no, it's a song lyric.
I know what it is.
No, I know. That's just, I'm thinking out loud. But yeah, somebody thought I was inviting people to pour sugar on me. So if you're listening, I'm not inviting you to pour sugar on me. But if you really want to, no.
Now, if it was syrup or...
I don't like syrup. Syrup got me detained in Canada once, and it wasn't a good time.
Okay. So you just got to ask them, how many rolls of toilet paper you got?
There you go.
You know, we can work out a trade.
She'll probably say yes to this one, too.
What?
I said you'll probably say yes to this one, too.
The name. Never mind. I'm not going to say it.
Dick Corbett.
I knew it.
Corbett.
No, that's a boring name.
Dick Corbett.
I hear you. You said Dick 3 times in a row.
George Cumby. Oh, no. George is going through, okay? George was a bad man.
You said it doesn't matter what they did.
But listen to his name. He sounds like a bad man. George Cumby. Okay. Come on.
Sounds like Gumby, but okay.
Okay. I can't say this one. Shebon Dakin. CHEBONDACON. Quarterback, 1966 to 67.
No, doesn't do anything for me.
Okay. Earl Deacon. Now, before you say anything, okay, Earl Deacon played from 1917 to 1920, and his name, Earl, is spelled E-R-L. That should get him through.
That should get him. Why?
Earl, just Earl, E-R-L, Earl.
One of my best friends is named Earl.
I know, but is it spelled E-R-L? Or is it spelled E-A?
No, it's not. It's E-A-R.
Yeah, see, now you're following me, right?
You just wonder if the parents couldn't spell, or if
pushing through, because I feel sorry for his parents for not knowing how to spell. So,
Santoy de Bose.
well, yeah, because that sounds like an R&B group from the 90s.
I hope it's a
90s boy band.
It's a receiver from 66 and 68. Bruce Durr, D-E-R. Bruce Durr.
No.
Have we got enough to put them into a bracket?
No, not yet. Ricky Dixon.
Man, Ricky Dixon. There's a story.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Oh, but if I just go off the name, I can't go off the name. I don't think the name is anything.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I hear it now, and I think back to him and his story, but...
Okay, next one is Louis Dollarhide.
Well, yes. Absolutely.
Clifford Dugan, D-U-G-G-A-N. No, not Clifford, Guilford Dugan. Guilford.
I have to say yes, because my dad's nickname was Dugan.
Oh, there you go. Johnny French.
Yes.
Does that not sound like a, secret agent movie from the 60s?
Well, I was thinking more of a male porn star, but yes, secret agent works.
Okay. Speaking of male porn stars, Ron Frisk.
Frisk?
Frisk, F-R-I-S-K.
Sounds like a cop. Yeah, I guess for football, Frisk.
Okay. And we'll stop with this one, okay? Because we still have more to go, but, we've gone through about 40, 50 names. But Ignacio Gallegos. He was a linebacker in 2016. Ignacio Gallegos.
He sounds like he should have been on the Nina Pinta and Santa Maria.
She just went full history on us, Rob.
Right?
That was, you guys know what that is, right?
Types of beans?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm going to say yes to that one.
Oh, you're going to say yes to Ignacio. Okay.
Ignacio
Gallegos. Yeah. I'm guessing I'm saying all that.
It also sounds like a good wine, too.
So that's, thank you for helping us pick some more names to move forward, because we're gonna get it down to, I think Caleb was saying a bracket of 24 was big enough. So, or was about the right size.
How's your bracket's doing?
Hey, I'm a millionaire. I ain't lost a game yet.
I haven't either.
Have you won any?
What did he say?
He asked if I won any. So, but you want me to drag Teresa in here so y'all can pick on us boys?
I thought she was going to be in there.
I'm asking you. She's in the next room.
Of course I do.
Okay. Well,
girl power.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna stop the recording real quick and go get Teresa. Okay, as promised, we have the Eve to my Adam, the Jane to my Tarzan, the lovely Teresa in the podcast palace with us.
Hello.
Boomer Teresa.
Boomer Terry.
So this is something new. We've never had two females on the podcast at the same time. And we explained to Lisa, Teresa, that it's because we don't want to be outnumbered.
Yeah. Well, you get outnumbered when just one is on there because they're smarter.
See, this is why we don't do this, right, Rob?
You did
Right.
do it. No, we did do it the one year where we had all the women do a thing. When we had the barbecue thing here,
Yeah.
we had all the women on doing.
Yeah, the
thing.
one that Lisa didn't come to.
Yeah, at least it didn't come.
But you had an emergency.
Oh my God.
That was
Tara came and Trilinda
Trilinda.
came.
But
We had who else? There was a couple of other females. But that's the only other time we've done that.
so Teresa only really doesn't watch sports unless I'm watching them, right?
Well, it depends. There's some things I watched without you.
Are you there, Lisa?
I'm here.
Okay, you just got quiet, and I'm not used to that.
Because I'm trying to hear, Terry.
Oh, do I need to turn people up?
Yes.
Okay. You know that little test period we had before I had you guys come back on?
And I was fine.
Okay. And is that better? Rob, say something.
Something. Boomer.
Is that better?
Yeah, but I'm more concerned about hearing Teresa than Rob.
You see where you rank, Rob.
It's about usual.
Okay. Is that okay? So now we're done testing. The subject was, Teresa watching sports as far as if I'm not around.
It depends because some things I watch that I consider sports, you don't. And so there's some things I watch that you don't watch.
What?
Wrestling.
Oh, okay. Let's clarify wrestling, not collegiate wrestling or Olympic freestyle. Lisa, are you here? There we go. Are you a WWE fan?
Am I what?
A WWE fan? WWF, www.com.
So I'm not.
But you're a Jim Ross fan.
Well, I'm friends with Jim Ross, so I have started watching a little bit of the AEW.
It's funny
and
to
I've
watch.
learned that what's his name? Oh my gosh! Well, I cannot think of his name. La Champion. Who is it? What's his
one?
name?
I have no idea because I don't
There are
watch it.
so many of them out there.
I can't believe I can't think of his name.
Well, just don't think
but,
about it. It'll come to you.
Yeah, it will.
Holy
He
cow!
calls himself La Champion.
La
I'm trying to think
Champion.
who that is.
That's
Caleb,
what Rob says to himself every morning in front of the mirror, right, Rob?
Right.
Caleb would know. He watches it a lot, and I got them doing that when they were kids, and he still does it. But no,
Yeah.
I watched some things without you. But you're right. Majority, probably, I would say, 85 to 90% is with you. But then again, you
Chris
watch sports
Jericho
all
does.
the time.
I don't right now.
Yeah. Chris Jericho's had a band out. Wasn't his band before when you went and saw Iron Maiden?
Nope, they
Wasn't
didn't
it
go.
him?
Nope.
Oh, well, they were supposed to though, weren't they?
That's what Caleb said. I never heard that.
Because Caleb was telling me all about it and stuff. But yeah, Caleb watches that too. I mean, there's other little things I watch. I like to watch volleyball. I love watching volleyball.
Beach volleyball.
Yes.
I'll watch beach volleyball with her.
And stuff. But I watch that by myself a lot. I watch the women more. You don't always watch the women.
Yes, I do.
I love watching the men.
Yes, I
you
do.
don't-
That's all I watch is the women.
I take that back. You don't watch the volleyball. You watch the women, and there are no clothes on the beach. And
Yeah,
then there's
I was getting ready to say, Teresa, I bet he does watch beach
no, he
volleyball
does not
very
watch
closely.
the volleyball. He watches the women.
Yeah. Did you know that they have NCAA beach volleyball,
I didn't know that.
Lisa?
Nope. Like a floppo.
Remember?
I think it's pretty popular out on the West Coast.
Yeah. We were sitting here. Me and Rob one day we were flipping through to find something to watch. Remember the NCAA finals came up of beach volleyball. You can't move that because it's got cords all around it. But yeah, there's NCAA beach volleyball. Rob about fell over himself reaching for the remote.
I bet he did.
To change it.
No, I like to watch volleyball and I like watching softball. I don't really just mainly OU softball, and I actually will watch some baseball, but I prefer baseball in person.
Well, of course, baseball in person. Lisa, you're supposed to respond to stuff, okay?
I'm okay.
Well, and I love gymnastics too. You don't
I do
always watch.
too.
Yeah, gymnastics
too.
I like to watch, and of course, every rare once in a while I'll do soccer, football as it is in England. But I only do that if Caleb's really around. And because I talk with him about some of it.
Soccer is not a
Did she
sport.
say she likes to watch soccer?
Lisa likes to watch the Spain team.
The Spain team.
Listen, I just got 2 words for you. Gerard Piqué. Just Pique. Look it up.
Gerard Piqué sounds like 3 words to me. What do you
Or
think, Rob?
you could look up Shakira because it's.
I
her
stopped
husband.
listening when she said soccer. So
Well, I always like how Caleb does with it. He says it's the only true thing because it's they use their foot and they call it football. There he goes. So it's actually a true thing of football. Now, if you get Caleb or Eli back here talking about that, you'd have them in a knockdown drag out about it.
Okay,
because
that's
how
enough
they
soccer
are.
talk.
See?
We're done
See?
talking about soccer.
See?
Yeah, we just, everybody
Rude.
turned off the podcast
Rude.
just then. So, Jiminy Christmas.
Hey, don't blame Teresa.
I didn't. Hey, we've been married 32 years. Did it together 32. I learned.
31 years married, my dear, and over 32
Oh, my
together.
I
It
learned.
was 31 on the 23rd of March, so we just celebrated
Yeah,
that. Thank you very much.
I learned in year 26 that she was right. Took me 26 years to figure that out.
It took you that long?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, or at least it took me 26 years just to tell her she's right, just to put an end to it.
He
Oh, so you're admitting right here on the podcast in front
Yeah.
of everybody that you don't really believe it. You're just going along with it. That was very dumb.
I'm not a smart man.
he married me. That tells you something.
No, I mean, there's.
You're very smart if you married someone like her.
Yeah, see, so. But no, yeah, I learned, like I said, in year 28 not to demand anything from her.
No,
So-
you learned that pretty much 6 months into it.
Yeah. So, but, so what else has been going on, Lisa? What else have you been doing besides not watching sports and not blogging?
Clearly, I don't watch movies.
Yeah, she's never seen Star Wars, Teresa. Any of
Oh
them.
my God!
She's
what is
never
wrong
seen
with you?
Indiana Jones.
Star Treks, any of that stuff.
She hasn't even watched Joe Exotic
Do you-
Tiger King
do you
yet.
know? Oh my gosh, that is the funniest thing on earth. And I tell you what, that woman, she's the worst of them all. She really is.
If you
She is
want to
the
learn how to
absolutely
kill a
worst of them
man
all.
and get away with it, watch it, Lisa.
Well,
well, you got to own a tiger.
I was
so
going to
there's
say,
that.
just get you some tigers because that makes it real easy just to throw them out there and they're gone.
So
Never really wanted to, but
So you don't watch movies at all? I mean, what do you do? Do you read? What do you do to keep yourself busy?
I do,
She
but
drinks.
I guess apparently it's the wrong kind of movie.
No. Is
Okay.
Is it not
Okay.
the movies?
Porn-
Is it the
porn-
X-rated?
porn really
X-rated?
isn't movies, okay? Porn is,
That is very, very
X-rated.
bad acting with just a lot of
it's entertainment, not
Well,
movies.
the porn Rob sent me the other day was like a movie.
What? Rob's
the
looking
one
at
he-
his phone
was
and
it
just
the
about
one
broke
he
his neck.
Was it the one he starred in recently, or was it a different?
Yeah, the one he starred in was called Little Peters.
It was called Peekaboo.
This is
A
uncomfortable.
little- he looked a little younger. I don't know.
A little younger. Well, sometimes when they're that shy, they can be.
So what? I mean, like I said, other than adult entertainment, do you watch other movies?
God. Listen, let's ask this to people on Twitter. They already want to pour sugar on me now.
Yeah. Well, okay,
Well,
you
or
throw
do
that
or
out
do
there, they're
you-
going
Or
to.
would you go out and watch the adult entertainment? Would you just go in person? And now that you can't go in person, has that changed?
Yeah. Do you go
I
watch?
didn't get all that.
Do you watch
In
the
other
male
words, going
strippers?
to the strip bars.
I have gone out one time to watch male strippers. And, of course, in recent developments, this does sound like the most unhealthy thing one could do. But a guy literally took a $5 bill, rolled it up like he was going to do coke off the table. Not that I know that you do coke off the table with a dollar bill rolled.
Yeah, you would have known that if you watched movies. You'd have seen that.
He literally stuck it down my cleavage and got it out with his mouth.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it scarred me for the rest of my life.
I would not have been a happy camper with
I
that.
didn't know. I was I was kind of like, like Ricky Bobby when he tries to do his hands. And
I haven't
do
seen that
interview
movie.
Where he's like, I don't know what
that's
to
sad.
Well, I have seen that movie.
So
I
now
was
so
stuck
now we're
between-
learning stuff.
Let's
That
watch
SoonerLeesa
Well, I
doesn't watch. She watches comedies.
Yeah. Right?
Okay.
I was stuck between, do I run away or motorboat? I didn't know what to do.
Oh, that's scary.
Always motorboat.
Always.
Yeah, that's coming from an expert there.
So let's.
I'm gonna make a T-shirt that says "Always motorboat."
Rob says,
So,
make sure you have in quotes.
so let's throw some comedies out and see if she's seen them. You want to do that, Rob?
Okay.
Ace Ventura.
Oh,
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say no.
You
she's not
haven't seen Ace Ventura, Pet Detective?
You're not
I
missing
think
much.
I've seen parts of it.
Okay. Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, God. That's them in here, Dumb and Dumber.
I watched it, but I didn't like it.
Okay. Rob, help me out.
She didn't
Let's
get
throw
that
out some,
one.
let's throw out some more funny movies that she may have seen.
Well, have you seen any of the Adam Sandler,
Yeah, Happy Gilmore.
Yes. I've probably seen almost every Adam Sandler movie.
Okay.
Okay,
Do you
so now
like
know
all
what
of Adam
taste.
Sandler's movies?
Not all of them. I don't like all of them because I think at some point he got a little, out there.
Yep.
But most of them because he's just so goofy and. I've had a crush on Adam Sandler since he was on Saturday Night Live, though.
Oh, how
'cause
funny.
I love how he laughs at himself. And
Yeah,
So
Waterboy.
have you watched his new drama movie that they have out?
what's it called?
It's
Something.
Jules. Something. Isn't it
betting
Jules
movie,
or
yeah.
something?
Yeah, betting movie.
No,
Yeah.
I'm actually going to watch that this week.
That's one that I wouldn't actually mind seeing. We just haven't. The
I've
boys have
seen all
wanted to
the
watch
trailers.
it, but I just haven't been ready to watch it yet. But it actually looks good. I'd like to see him in a
It's
serious
supposed
role.
to be real good, but I can't get. It's hard for me to get past. Take him too seriously because his voice.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a lot.
No
you
matter
know,
what
with
role he's
people.
in, he sound. It's hard to a serious role. It's really
Was that,
hard for me to
have
get
you ever
into that.
seen Die Hard? Into the Die Hards?
No.
Well,
Holy
that was the
cow.
same thing with him, Bruce Willis, because he did shows that were more comedy, and so when they did that, it was an action pack, and so you just kept waiting to watch him screw up because that's what he did with the TV shows.
So,
But he didn't. I mean, he became a huge star because of it. But it is when you have comedians try and do serious things, that's what you keep doing. You keep waiting to watch them screw up.
who is that, Rob? They're talking about
Warren Sapp.
Yeah, Warren Sapp. He was a fall from grace, wasn't he?
Definitely.
I knew that was.
What-
I didn't have to ask. Warren Sapp.
I couldn't remember who Warren Sapp. They were showing him on. We got the NFL Network on, and they're showing. And I was like, "Who is?" I couldn't think of who it was, and I said, "He's."
They're doing the
He had
100
a-
greatest characters. I don't know what number he is, but
He
Warren
had
Sapp
he
is
had
on
a
there.
fall from grace. What?
99.
Was he 99?
Yeah.
What?
Not 100.
What?
They're going with their jersey numbers.
What
Oh.
was it that? What was it that he got caught with? He beat up a hooker, didn't he? In Las
Who
Vegas?
hasn't done that? Not me.
Yeah, I know.
Not
We
me.
bailed Rob out last week for doing that. You know.
So, wasn't that what he got in trouble for?
I can't
I don't
remember.
remember.
Lisa, help me out.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Warren
See?
Sapp,
He played for wasn't it
Oh.
Florida?
Tampa Bay.
But college. Wasn't it
He
Florida?
was, Tampa Bay, right?
Yeah, he played for Tampa Bay. I don't know who he played for in college, but I think
went from
he was
Tampa
doing NFL Network stuff, and he got in trouble for beating up a hooker, and the room was full of cocaine, and
That's
you know.
encouraging.
so And I always liked him on the NFL
Man,
Network.
he took that whole cocaine and hookers thing seriously, didn't he? Man.
Hey, ask Lisa if she knows about Netflix. What you said you
About
didn't
what?
know.
Oh, no. I'm not doing that.
Well, come on. Do you? Okay, because I didn't know it. Me and Rob didn't know this. Do you know what Netflix and chill means?
Well, yeah, I do.
What's it mean?
Well, fine,
Well,
Lisa.
Netflix means you're going to turn on Netflix, but chill, yeah,
I don't think that's what it means.
It's fool around time.
Oh, okay.
So she does know.
Yeah, she does know.
I knew I was this
Is that why
year's
you always wanna
old
have it on,
when I
Terry?
found that out.
Rob said it. I was like, "What are you talking about?" And when on the last podcast, and Kate was like, "That means to, not. It has really nothing to do with Netflix. I don't think."
I guess it depends on what you're watching.
There's not porn on Netflix, Rob. I checked.
Oh,
Have you requested it?
I'm just kidding. I'm really. God, this whole thing. Just edit this whole thing.
No. Why do you keep saying? We don't edit. We do not edit. We do not.
Because I say things, and then 10 seconds later, I'm like, damn it, I wish I wouldn't have said that.
Yeah. Well.
welcome to my world.
But as far as what's your favorite restaurant out there in Tulsa?
Probably Red Rock Canyon.
Oh, we have one of those
Or
here.
there's a tiny little Italian restaurant called Tucci's down on Cherry Street. It's a
Two cheese on
local-
cherry.
It's really, really good. Their
Where-
bruschetta is amazing.
Is it on downtown?
It's not far from downtown. It's on 15th Street, but they call it Cherry Street because it's the 15th Street where there's no hookers.
No.
Well,
That's
Rob's
funny,
not going there, right,
That's
Rob?
really funny considering it's on Cherry
Or the ones
Street.
that you can't tell are hookers anyway.
No, not
That's
obvious
funny.
hookers.
That's funny.
Listen, when I get some cocaine, I'm going down there. All right.
So find the strip clubs.
Okay,
I
so
don't know any to introduce you to. Rob.
so are you doing the home delivered from your favorite restaurants to try to support them, or are you just doing ramen
I have been a little bit. I've been cooking some,
Do you know what bothers me about the delivered food?
You have to tip them?
no.
Well, I mean, and it's never bothered me before, but in this stuff that we're in, the COVID-19 and stuff, it's like, how is it okay for them to deliver food but not open the restaurant? Because what about the guy cooking it, or the lady cooking it, or the person delivering it?
Well,
They
wait-
just kill them after it's
well, wait a
over.
minute. Are you talking about opening it up to go in to get it, or are you talking about going in to eat?
No, about them bringing it here.
I know, but are you talking about having the restaurant open to go in to eat?
Yeah, I just don't know what the difference
Well,
is
it's
if
a
they
huge
allow 'em.
difference because here it's just the people you have here. In a restaurant, you have 30 or 50 other people.
Yeah, but how do I know that the chef behind the doors isn't sitting there
you don't.
coughing up a?
You don't.
Listen, you probably don't want to know what he's doing to begin with. So.
Yeah, don't you remember what was that movie that you and Caleb loved so much about the restaurant thing?
Oh, well, there's a couple of them with good restaurant
Yeah,
scenes.
but it's
Waiting.
still-
Have you
it's-
seen
yeah, it's
Waiting,
Waiting? The one with
Lisa?
was it
Have I seen what?
Ryan
Waiting.
Gosling? No, not Gosling.
Have you
It's the other
seen?
dude?
Have you seen Waiting?
The movie,
Breaking?
the movie Waiting.
Waiting
no, she
like
hasn't
waitresses.
Seen it.
No, she hasn't seen
hasn't
it. No.
seen it. She would know.
So it has Ryan. What's his name?
It's not Gosling. It's the other one. Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. Do you like Ryan Reynolds?
Oh. No, I don't dislike Ryan.
Well, he's nice. It's he's just fun to look at. Both of the Ryans are nice to look at.
But
Yeah, both of them are. Yeah, Ryan Sandwich sounds pretty good about Ryan.
Ryan
yep,
Sam-
yep.
This conversation
That
is
would work really well, Lisa. That's a good one. I hadn't thought
kind
about
of
that
making
one.
me uncomfortable.
Listen, I'm quarantined.
Yeah,
You're
cool.
quarantined. This is what downtime and alone time does for SoonerLeesa, huh? But what? Okay, here's the bad part. We're gonna bring out some bad parts here. Okay,
Oh,
what?
I wasn't. No, wait. I didn't sign up for bad parts.
What do you think the chances are of us playing football this year are?
I don't know.
Remember-
I try not to think about it.
Remember the Olympics, which is in the last week
I know
and first
the
week.
Olympics were postponed.
They were
for a year.
postponed. Okay, they weren't postponed. They were canceled, and they're going to do them again in a year. So, and that's when all the football players.
Yeah, but weren't they scheduled to start next month? We don't
No,
have.
it's July.
Was
It's
it
always
July?
the last week of July is when it's scheduled to start. So,
I'm just wondering if maybe they'll postpone it more or less than cancel. Try and postpone it, especially with how Trump's been about things. I mean, shoot, he was wanting to kickstart everything by Easter.
but how? Give us a percentage, Lisa. 50, 40, 30. Okay.
You know, I was so optimistic, and every day it just keeps going down. But because I like my cup to be half full, I'm going to stick with 50-50
Yeah.
right now.
I think we're still at that right now. I think it's still too early, but I hadn't really thought about it until, I knew they had canceled and, postponed the Olympics for a year, but I'd forgot that they're in July. I was like, Teresa, you usually think, I don't know why, we were thinking it's in June or May, and I was like, holy crap, they moved the Olympics because they're saying, it's just not going to be safe to have that many people from all over the world.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You're also
coming
looking
in.
at that you're
Right.
it's coming from all over the world versus what we're looking at is what's in the United States with the football. They're not usually coming from everywhere. They're from here in the United States versus they're coming from everywhere. I mean, that makes a little bit more sense too. That it would have us a little bit higher up that we'd still be able to have our football season.
I mean, I don't know if you saw. I did actually write something not too long ago. Had a picture of the OU hazmat suit that I designed.
Yes,
I'm not-
I liked that.
You I'm
have
thinking
you?
if we all wear those, what's the problem?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I think Rob had at one point when we were even talking about the spring game, he was like, they'll still have the spring game just with nobody there.
Yeah.
Just televised.
But then they
everything.
can't, when the university
Not now.
Yeah.
shuts down. See, and that's the other thing that people got to look at too. It's not just football. If the university, if they say it's not safe to have because those kids come from all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If they go, we can't open the campus with all these kids from all over the world. We're going to continue distance learning. Football's done. They're not going to just,
Right.
sports for next year done. Don't you think, Rob?
I think.
So that's what we got to, be looking at is whether or not these universities are going to open back up. The campuses are going to open back up.
Oh, and it may be that some open, some don't.
No, I think it'll be across the board. I mean, that's kind of how everybody's been with that. With the NBA, baseball, it's all just been kind of like, hey, let's just pull back and.
Well, whoever don't, they're going to take a lot of criticism.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't care about whatever.
And saying, I think, Rob, that's a lot of things that I don't think people realize. It is if they say bring it back, bring the kids back, it's going to be, you're going to get public outcry both ways. You know what I mean? It's going to be, no, you, like Rob said, you don't care about them.
Well, go into your little safe room, sissy.
We know how Rob feels about it.
Right?
Gonna get,
Like you had to ask.
you're also going to have the fact because they're not practicing, and so you're looking at more things because if they're pushing to do it, the kids getting hurt more because they're pushing themselves even more because they haven't been practicing.
Well, they're supposed to be practicing.
They better be practicing.
They better be. And Lincoln actually brought, somebody asked him that the other day when all this stuff started being talked about. He said, we report the 1st of August. He said, there's no football shape. Said they should be in shape. And he goes, 4 weeks is plenty of time to be ready to play a football game. So
19, 20-year-old kids. Come
Yeah.
on. They don't need a whole lot.
Yeah. Hey, come on. Me and Rob just walked 9 holes of golf.
It's about the same.
Yeah, it's about the same.
Yeah, right.
And you live to tell about it.
Exactly. you know.
Yeah, Terry came in all drenched and stuff too, you know.
Yeah. Like, I didn't know, you know, I forgot that when I, you know, get exerted like that, I breathe like,
Breathes like Rascal.
Yeah, how's your bulldog? And it Boz? Striker, that's right. I knew it was.
How the hell did you get?
I knew it was an OU football player. I mean, I got the right team.
Well,
how's
that
the
be
English?
too hard.
How's the English bulldog?
He is fine. I've kind of had to gift him to my niece.
Oh my goodness! You
You
could have gifted him to us.
Because
Tongue tighter.
I wasn't being able to take care of him the right way because I was gone so much.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I couldn't stand it. So I have visitation rights. I haven't lately, obviously, because of this. But she sends. I FaceTime with Striker all the time.
Oh.
Rascal's not into FaceTime, and we've tried to get him to FaceTime with. He loves the grandbabies to death. He just like, you know how how bulldogs, they kind of look out of the corner of their eye at stuff. Like, stop. I see what you're doing, and I'm not interested. That's kind of what Rascal does.
Well,
Striker just kind of stares into the phone and drools.
Now Rascal will do it if the girls are
or...
on. He will come up and literally look. He literally walks right up to the camera where his face is. That's all you can see is his nose, because he's right up to the camera, and he'll look at them for a minute or two, and then he walks off. But that's about it with Rascal.
So, Lisa, what else? Baffle us with your brilliance. What else do you want to talk about?
I don't know. I hope everybody stays healthy and safe.
What's it like in T-Town? I mean, is it crazy there, or what's it like? I mean, it's pretty. I mean, you go out to the streets, it's not that busy at all. But I've been surprised about some things that are still, like the parks and stuff, of how much people are still out at the parks.
I think she asked if people are still going to the parks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the parks seem to be, that was one, if there's anything positive, I did notice the other day driving down Riverside that there were families out actually together doing things.
Well, they're actually even encouraging it here in Norman, but they're saying not to
congregate.
Well, no, it wasn't even so much that, not to get on the equipment, because they don't have the people that can come out to clean everything all the time. Because there's so many parks, and so their thing was more of, go to the parks and get out, throw footballs, whatever, but don't get on the equipment. That was more of what they're in. Of course, the space in between, but that was one of the biggest things it did, even though they've got Norman on lockdown.
Yeah, they were. This was like down Riverside. There's trails.
Yeah.
And I saw full families. I saw like a dad and his kids playing football together. It was really cool to see the family time.
Yeah.
So would you have liked your parents to homeschool you during some time like this?
So, man, I don't know.
I wouldn't have, because you know what?
What's so different now?
Because my dad would have been get up and go cut wood and do this and this, and if we got time, we'll let you learn something.
Well, but they're really, because I was talking to Z the other day about this, and we were talking about they're trying to get like either computers, making sure you have Wi-Fi, where it's the school, not the parents doing it, where the school is still in charge of what's going on, lessons that they're doing, reading, all that stuff. But they are actually in the midst of trying to get that taken care of.
But so
yeah, my dad, I would have known every baseball stat.
That would have been your PE. That would have
that would have been her class.
That would have definitely.
That'd have been your history class.
Yeah, but
history would have been all sports for my dad.
There you go.
But
my mom would have. It would all been music for my mom. I'm a pretty good blend of them.
But so are you watching any?
I can't imagine.
Are you watching any in like ESPN or NFL Network or any of that stuff, or is there just no need for it now?
Well, every once in a while, I love the 30 for 30s.
Yeah.
There's to me that they don't get old, so I'll watch them. Like I said the other day, the Texas Tech and OU game was on. Sometimes there's a good classic game. I may have to start learning how to play video games. Just so I could play football, or it may come down to that. I don't know. I did take up a word game yesterday on my phone.
Like word search, or
it's, you know what? I don't even know the name of it. It's kind of like a word search, not one of those.
but you actually
like
go circle.
words.
Yeah, but it gives you a topic, and you have to figure out the kind of like a crossword.
Yeah, it's there's different themes. I'm already in like level 111. That's how bad it is.
And you had it since like noon today, right?
No, it was yesterday. It was yesterday.
Actually, I've got games. I've got 2 games that I really play, but I like them because you can talk to them on the game. So it's group stuff that you do, and so I really enjoy that. And you're getting to communicate, but it's people from all over the world that you talk to. I mean, there are times that I was on, and there's a girl, where is she from? She's from the other side of the world, and my phone would be dinging, and Terry would wake up, who the hell are you talking to?
At 3 o'clock in the morning. So
I do that with, I know it's been around forever, but I'm still a Words with Friends person. That's not the only other game. I don't really play a lot of games, but that one I do. I've been playing that forever. So
basically,
I'm like Words with Friends.
Yeah, basically, what you're telling us is you just sit around and drink now.
Who said that?
Terry. I mean, the way you were talking about, you don't drink a glass of wine now. You drink a bottle of wine. You don't watch movies. There's no sports on. So the only thing I've gotten out of this is you drink a bottle of wine.
So, because I don't watch movies or I don't watch sports, I will tell you, and I'm going to be judged, and I don't care.
Okay.
Reality TV is my guilty pleasure.
Oh, there it is. Reality TV. Yikes.
What's that one I used to watch? I can't remember now.
I'm almost ready to become a star of 90 Day Fiancé.
Hey, they have a new one on Netflix. What is it called? But it's basically where you talk to them. You're like in a cubicle thing, and they come into the room, and you talk to them through the wall. You don't get to see them unless you ask them to marry you, and it's over this short period of time. But it's Love is Blind. Love is Blind.
Is that the one with Nick Lachey and Vanessa Hudgens?
Yep, that's it.
I've heard about that. I haven't seen it.
I watched it. I've watched it. It was like a 3-week thing they did. It started off like I don't know, about 4 or 5, and then they did weekly after that, and it's interesting. And I mean, it was very interesting. It then interesting to see who all followed through with it. So it was a little different than the 90-day thing or the other stuff that they've had, but very interesting.
Figure I can't be a real housewife, so 90 Day Fiancé may be the way to go.
Have you seen the ones where they spend them thousands of dollars to bring their?
That's 90 days.
Is that 90 day?
Yeah, that's 90 day.
They bring their. Is that the one they bring their people from across the ocean?
They're at. Yeah, that's the 90 day.
Or they go over there. Yeah.
Yeah, vice versa. Some of them get stuck wherever they're at.
Something you ever thought about doing?
90 Day Fiance? Listen, I don't want 90 minutes. All right.
Hey, just put that out there.
Okay. All right.
There's no.
I don't know. As soon as the airplanes are back flying, I may be flying over there to Spain. I don't know.
Well,
they watch a lot of soccer, so you'd be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a website for single Spaniard soccer players, but I'll let you know tomorrow.
There's a website for everything.
She's going to ask Siri.
I guarantee you can find it.
She's going to ask Siri to show her.
Well, I think we've been going now about an hour and a half. I think that's about all anybody can stand hearing us.
I think that they should say how much they like the women on, and that the women should probably
we
be on
let
a
our
little more
fans
often.
decide that.
Yeah, I think that you guys really need to push for us to kind of come on. We add some spice to it.
Lisa, did you notice how quiet Rob got when more women were on?
Yeah, he's like, what's his face from?
It's a good idea for me to do that.
Just to shut up when there's.
Yep.
Rob, we need to bring you out of your shell, Rob.
You know what? He's not like that normally. He and I can sit and talk for hours. We talk about nothing. But he's not always like that.
No, if you want to see Rob,
You missed it.
get all nervous, is put him in a room with about 25 people, and Rob literally, you see his
So,
skin
I guess
trying to
Rob
crawl
Now,
off.
you could do
I
15.
guess Rob didn't tell you about that one night he met us out of
Yes, he
Sooner
did.
Yes, he
after
Yes, he
the
told us all about it. He
I'm
told
telling
us all
everything,
about
girl.
it. He did. We talked about everything with him most of the time.
Yeah, so
As long as we've known him. Yeah, he told us all about that. Now, if you
not
know,
all of it.
what
Is there anything that you want to tell us that Rob didn't tell us?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What's the show?
Well, let her tell us what Rob did that he didn't tell us about.
Poor Rob.
Uh-oh.
My friends, I think that was Jill and Connie that night.
Rob,
Pretty
was
sure
it?
was.
Yeah.
Don't ask him. You won't know.
And Jill's having a great time. They literally had to kick us out of the bar.
Really?
And when I say that, the waitress said, "Here, I will take this tray of drinks up to your room. Just leave." Which
You did kind of leave the
Which
room part out there.
she actually did.
Oh, gosh.
And so we're walking through, the restaurant that used to be a restaurant that it's not open anymore.
Yeah.
Because when we go to Norman and spend the night, we always get a room at Sooner Legends. So you can go through the bar and walk through that restaurant, and I'm like, there's bathrooms right there on the outside of it. I said, I got to stop here and pee. So I go in the bathroom. I come back out, and Jill apparently has talked Rob into going up to our room.
That's
And
not
Jill's
too
just
hard,
like-
really,
Jill's just like, Rob's going to come up to the room. Jill, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, but you were just effed up drunk. I know she's listening to it. Everybody shout out to Jill. She
Shout
is
out to
listening.
Jill.
I know she's going to listen.
What's that show that you watch all? I forget the name of it. It's Sheldon and stuff. He's like, what's his face on there that has to have used to have that drink
to bring him out. But anyway, so we go up to the.
Yeah, so we're standing in the lobby, and Jill gets a text from Connie. She's like, I'm standing up here holding this tray of drinks, and I don't have a key.
Had to wait around for the key.
I gotta go. Connie's up there with the drinks. And she left, and I looked at Rob, and he has this look of horror on his face.
You're being really quiet, Rob. No commentation.
I just want to see where the story's going.
Are you trying to see what level it gets to?
It's about you. You're going to make sure it's right?
Right? So far, we're all good.
And I look at him, and
Well,
I
that's
said,
kind of
Rob,
scary when he's saying that we're all good. Then of how far we're going to go here.
I'm wondering if he would really confess if I just went off and told a bunch of lies.
I don't know.
Me too.
We took him up to the room, and all three of us had to turn with Rob. That's how the night ended.
You had the strip.
Well, that's how I do.
You had the strip tease. Then he had a bunch of bills
Now,
coming
see,
out.
that's
didn't he?
that. Rob would never deny that. Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
No, I looked at him, and I was like, Rob, you really don't have to come out to the room. I said, I'm sure you have stuff to do. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning at this point.
Oh my goodness.
He's like, "Oh, I got to get up early." I was like, "Okay, bye, Rob."
You need to go to bed. I don't know, Lisa.
So here-
I think we scared him.
You should see Terry when he gets a little bit too far. It's a mess.
It never happened.
They are a mess. Rob can testify to that. He usually leaves because he gets so idiotic.
No, Rob has never left because I've been idiotic.
Yes, he has.
He's left because Caleb's been idiotic.
Well, that's just
But-
it. It's
Yeah.
two peas in a pod there.
But no,
Yeah, he was scared. I think we scared Rob that night.
so my question is, they let you take the drinks up to the room. Could you get more once you got up there? Would you call down and go,
So-
"Yo, can I get another beer?"
Here's what happened. It didn't end there. because on the way back to the room, there's this little table and chairs just randomly in the middle of this hallway. And I just decided to sit down because, I don't know, I just decided to sit down. And I sat there, and about a minute later, some dude comes out of his doorway. "Hey, I got a king suite and some liquor."
Really?
Actually, it was whiskey. "I've got a king suite and some whiskey, and I'm looking for some titties."
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, and
And
did Rob
like-
volunteer to go?
Did Rob come running up the hall at that point in time?
No, Rob was already gone.
Oh, this is after.
No, I'm just saying that he heard it and came running.
I'm
then.
wondering if Rob sent him.
Here's a 5. Go down there and tell these girls.
He sat there and he was like, and I mean, he had to be like 19 years
Oh my goodness.
old. And I said, "Dude, I'm too old for you. I don't care how old you are. I'm just looking for some." And I'm just staring at him. And we sat there for about half an hour.
And what you should have did was just said, "Hey, dude, I'll go and stay here. You go stay down in my room."
Send him to your friends or something.
Yeah. So you could have had the nice
Well-
king size and.
They kept texting me, and I said, "I'm down here talking to some dude." Jill's like, "Bring him up."
She tried to get Rob up, and you messed that up.
Are you calling me a cock blocker? No, but this guy, it was hilarious. He's like, "Can you at least take a selfie with me?" Sure. So we took our selfies
Oh,
together.
that's funny.
I finally make it up to the room, and sure enough, on the little dresser, there's a whole tray full of booze. And one of them, I think it was Connie, she was already asleep at that point. And
So did you
Jill-
make sure that they didn't
It
go
was,
to waste?
okay, there's no such thing as that much drinking and you go to sleep.
Yeah,
you
there
pass,
is.
No,
And
you
what?
pass out. So
yeah.
No. Okay. Now hang on a second. There, you actually said you pass out, and I say that all the time. No, I just was resting my eyes, is what he tries
Yep.
to say.
I am.
I mean, he has literally fallen flat down asleep. My granddaughter and I come home, and he's in the middle of the hallway, and it's not like you can.
Made it
you
all the
can't
way to the
get
hallway,
by
huh?
either way.
Good job.
He just literally was so across. You couldn't move. You could not move.
I had got down, was playing with Rascal.
Yeah, that's his
And
thing.
got sleepy
So
and
I
went
thought
to
he was
sleep.
sleeping in the
Yeah.
middle of the hallway?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he passed out
No,
in the
I went to
middle.
sleep.
See?
I don't
my-
pass out. I go to sleep.
God, it's
Yeah.
my senior prom all over again.
Oh no, it gets better. He passes out on the damn stool. I mean, and you can't get him up.
No, I go to sleep on the stool.
Yeah, he passes out on the stool. And Caleb came into me one time. He's like, "Mom, Dad's." I said, I go, "You can't get him up. Leave him alone." I said, "Either he'll fall off or
See,
he'll wake up."
this is why we don't need to have more than one woman on a podcast, Rob.
Listen, you didn't run this by me, so you're eating all of this one, buddy.
Hey, but we bring
So,
more
like
flavor.
I said,
we bring more flavor.
that's the podcast for today, folks. Lisa, sorry I upset you
Teresa,
last
you're
week.
the best.
Sorry I upset you last week. I never mean to make you sound like a crazy psychotic bitch, but you know,
That's
do that
not
on my own
nice.
sometimes.
She can do that all by herself. She doesn't need no help.
But,
We all can, can't we?
and you're always welcome to be on the podcast with us, and we will do it again.
Okay, next when I call you from Spain with my 90-day fiance.
Oh yeah, we will FaceTime and record that
Well,
and
you
put
just
it all
make
out.
sure anytime that you're going to be on the chat, you tell them that they need to bring me back on too.
But
That way we can have fun.
anyway, that's a podcast, guys. Thanks for listening. Boomer Rob,
Boomer Terry.
Boomer Teresa,
Boomer Terry.
Boomer Lisa.
Boomer.
Boomer.
Have a great night, you guys. Everybody stay safe out there and healthy.
You too. You be very careful. Everybody stay safe. Think smart.
Oh my gosh!
Shut up.
Bye,
Terry.
everybody.
Hey, hold on, hold. Bag up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord.